All right, today we're diving deep into something fascinating, the intense inner world of the gifted mind. And believe me, it can be this incredible gift, but also a pretty profound challenge. So, let's get into it. I mean, have you ever felt like your brain just has way too many tabs open at once? We all get that feeling. But for some people, it's not just a busy day. It's their default setting. A kind of constant, buzzing intensity that makes everything feel louder, brighter, and just infinitely more complex. If that's hitting home for you, guess what? There's a name for it. And that name is overexcitability. It's a concept from a psychologist named Kazimierz Dabrowski. And look, it's not about being hyper in the way we usually think about it. It's more like having a nervous system that's just wired differently. It's set to experience life with the volume turned all the way up. You basically have this enhanced ability to take in and react to everything around you.
So Dabrowski actually broke this down into 5 different types, and you might see yourself in one, or maybe even all of these. First, you've got psychomotor. This isn't just fidgeting, it's a real surplus of energy that can show up as talking super fast or just always needing to be doing something. Then there's sensual. This is when the world is just incredibly vivid. Textures, sounds, smells, they're all dialed up to 11. Intellectual is that classic, unquenchable thirst for knowledge, always asking why. Imaginational? That's for people with this incredibly rich inner world full of fantasy and invention. And finally, emotional. This one's big. It's feeling everything with this really profound depth and complexity.
Okay, so what happens when you've got this supercharged mind, this incredible intensity? It doesn't just look outward at the world, it turns inward. And when it does, it can lead you to start wrestling with some of life's biggest, heaviest questions, often way earlier and way more often than most people. See, this heightened awareness isn't just for, beautiful sunsets or complex math problems. It also shines a spotlight on the fundamental and sometimes pretty scary realities of just being human. A psychiatrist named Irvin Yalom actually identified 4 of what he called the ultimate concerns that this intensity kind of forces you to face head on. The first one, death. For a lot of people, mortality is this abstract thing they can push to the back of their minds. But if you have this kind of mind, especially as a kid, the fact that life ends can be a constant, pressing reality. It leads to all these questions and anxieties that your friends they're not even thinking about that stuff yet. The second concern is freedom. And we're not talking about political freedom here. This is the big existential kind. It's that kind of staggering, terrifying realization that there's no script for life. We're just thrown into this unstructured world, and we're completely responsible for creating our own meaning, our own path. That much choice, it can feel less like a gift and more like a massive, terrifying burden. Third is isolation. This one can really hurt. It's that deep, gut-level understanding that no matter how close you are to someone, there's always this unbridgeable gap. Nobody can ever truly, fully know your inner world, your thoughts, your consciousness. In a very real sense, we are completely alone inside our own minds. And those first 3 concerns, they lead right into the 4th one, meaninglessness. It's the logical conclusion, right? If we have to die and we're ultimately alone and we have to invent our own purpose from scratch, then what's the point of any of it? It's a question that can be the source of some really profound depression.
And look, this isn't just some abstract philosophical theory. Just listen to this from a 16-year-old named Max. He perfectly captures that early start to these huge questions and that deep sense of detachment it creates. It's that feeling of being lost in these huge thoughts, while everyone else seems to be on a totally different frequency.
So this intense inner world, right, full of these huge questions and deep feelings, it inevitably starts to create some friction with the outside world. It can make just navigating everyday life, school, work, social stuff, feel like you're operating on a completely different wavelength from everyone around you. This chart here really illustrates what's going on. It shows how, as we get older, we all naturally start to shift from relying on external rules, from parents and teachers, to following our own internal compass. But for gifted folks, that internal world, that compass, is exceptionally strong, often from a really young age. Now, this can make them less needy for outside approval, which is great, but it can also create a lot of friction with systems that demand everyone just fall in line. And you really see this play out in the workplace, where it can be a huge source of conflict. You know the feeling, the frustration when projects are moving at a snail's pace, or that irritation when you see a much better way to do something, but you're forced to follow a less than ideal plan. It can lead to this constant sense of being understimulated, like your brain is a race car stuck in a traffic jam.
You can feel like you don't really have peers, and that sharp critical eye, which is really just trying to make things better, can be totally misunderstood by coworkers as you just being negative.
And when you add all of that up, well, it culminates in this profound feeling of isolation. It's that sense of walking a totally different path, seeing a totally different landscape, even when you're literally surrounded by people. It's a kind of loneliness that can hit you right in the middle of a crowd. Okay, so I know this can all sound a bit bleak, but here's the pivot. This is the most important part. Just understanding these challenges is the first massive step toward managing them. The goal isn't to get rid of the intensity. That's part of who you are. It's about learning to channel it and to connect with the world in a way that actually works for you.
So how do you do that? How do you find your footing? Well, first, seek out understanding. Just finding articles like the ones we're talking about here, or finding online communities of people who just get it. That can be a huge relief. Second, don't underestimate the power of physical connection. In a world that can feel so abstract and lonely, a simple hug or a hand on the arm can be this incredibly powerful grounding force. Third, explore how other people have navigated these same waters. Biographies are amazing for this. You get to see all the countless ways people have built meaningful lives out of what felt like chaos. And finally, and this is a big one, channel that intensity. Find a cause, a project, a passion that is big enough to hold all of that incredible energy you have. And if you take away only one single thing from all of this, let it be this: you are not alone. That feeling of isolation is just that, a feeling. The reality is, there are so many other people walking this exact same path. You are not the only one. And here is the proof. This comment from a Reddit user is just, it's such a beautiful testament to hope. After years of feeling like it would never happen, connection found her. It's just this powerful reminder that it is never, ever too late, and that the people who really understand your wavelength, they are out there. And that brings us to our final and honestly most empowering step. This is about moving beyond just coping with the challenges and into the active, creative work of building a life of purpose on your own terms. This comment from Alistair just nails the very heart of this. He says, maybe life doesn't have a meaning on its own, but deciding for himself what purpose to strive for helped him. He decided he wanted to leave the world a little kinder. You see that? The shift from finding meaning to building it, that changes everything. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field covered with snow. And so, we're going to end by turning that question back to you, acknowledging all of it, the intensity, the challenges, the profound depth of your inner world. The ultimate power is in your hands. If meaning is a construction project and you are the architect, what will you build?